Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio. We give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. You know, the mind, man, is so powerful that it can bring forth things into existence with just a mere thought, right? But it's also a shame if you waste the power that the mind can bring forth. Instance, this is 2021, and some of the Republicans, white supremacists, colonists, in their mind, they think this is still Jim Crow. They're suffering because they can't move forward past the Jim Crow ideology, and in their minds, they think that we are the same people who existed in the time of Jim Crow. That is sad, as your newly elected president, Joe Biden, stated. It's sickening. Now, how can you change that mindset? Me personally, I don't think it can ever be changed. And I don't think we should waste time trying to change it. Let me give you an example, right? This the headlines, right? Power. A black lawmaker was arrested for knocking on the governor's door. And this is by Amanda Arnold, right? A black lawmaker in Georgia was handcuffed and arrested after she knocked on the governor's door while he signed into law a sweeping elections bill that will sharply restrict voting access. Right? Now, if you all didn't catch that, I'm going to read it again, and I'm going to make it plain, and hopefully you catch it this time. A black what? A black lawmaker. She was knocking on the governor's door while he signed into what? Law. So she had every right being there because she's a lawmaker. He's signing something into law. She wanted to sit in. She has access, but wait. In a Jim Crow mindset, people who think this is back in the 1800s and the 1960s, they feel as though, how dare you knock on the governor's door? Sapphire, we don't play that. Arrest her, beat her, and whoop her. In their mindset. And people are looking at them like, you idiot too? You will pay for this. This is not Jim Crow. Although you like it to be, but it'll never go back to Jim Crow. I don't care. You all will perish, die off, before they ever go back to another Jim Crow. It'll never. It's impossible. Let's continue, right? While the lawmaker, state representative Park Cannon, has since been released from jail, right? Because they arrested and put in jail, right? Now, why do they do that? It's to humiliate you, right? It's to dehumanize you. It's to put you behind those bars in a dungeon-like place to teach you a lesson that gal, stay in your place. Right. Cannon has since been released from jail. She's now facing felony charges for attempting to watch Governor Brian Kemp sign a bill that's been described as nothing less than Jim Crow 2.0. They charge a lawmaker with the felony for wanting to sit in while a law was being passed. Handcuffed her, drug her out of there, threw her in jail, and then tried to charge her with a felony. Just to really, that was about sending a message to the larger black population that if you come down here trying to vote, you're going to get worse than that. But they fail to realize that they're not scary. You're not scaring anyone. No one sees you as a threat. Matter of fact, to be truthful about it, it's pity. Black folks have pity on white folks at the fact that they're so blinded with racism that it's killing them internally and they can't see it. But soon our sympathy will turn our backs and say, you know what, let nature take its course. You're on your own. We're not putting any more energy and thought into your warped sense of thinking. Wow. I am not the first Georgian to be arrested for fighting voter suppression, Cannon tweeted, following her release from jail early Friday morning. I left to say I'm the last, but we know that isn't true. Why? Why isn't that true? Because the mindset of the colonists, of the white supremacists, they can't, it's like, it's just locked into racism. They can't even help themselves. You know, that's how they live. That's how they draw energy. They have to have an opponent where they can let out their racist mindset and ideologies up on. It doesn't matter if it's black, Asian, Hispanic, whatever. That's just how they thrive, right? And people are saying, hey, you know, can you step outside of your racist shell for a minute and look at the whole of humanity? And I mean, that's a daunting task. I don't think they can do it. The incident unfolded last night outside of Kemp's office, where a group of protesters had gathered to denounce the restrictive bill, which opponents say will disenfranchise black voters. Cannon was there protesting the bill, and she decided to knock on Governor Kemp's door, arguing for transparency of the bill's signing. While police claimed that Cannon was beating on the door, the multiple videos captured at the scene dispute that characterization. Now they say, well, look, unless they saying, you know, black folks' knocks are too heavy, it's too loud. Now how that woman beating on the door with her knuckles? And I saw the video. She knocked on the door, wanting to gain access since she's a lawmaker. She should have that access, that right. This is America. But see, you got some anti-Americans who feel it's their position to say who's American and who's not. Like they're the president. Like they are the law, the end all to be all. Like someone anointed them. You know, and it's ridiculous. But this is a new day. It is not going to happen. Lies, man, lies. She wasn't banging on the door, activist Tamara Stevens, who filmed the exchange, told the Washington Post. A Capitol officer came over and said, "Don't knock on my door." And she's like, "Well, are they in there signing the bill?" And he's like, "Don't knock on the door." In the video, when Cannon knocks one more, one of two white officers hovering over her says, "You're under arrest," and they proceed to handcuff her. While Cannon repeatedly identifies herself as a lawmaker and asks to know why she's being arrested, the officer forcibly removed her. Right? Wait, why? Why am I being arrested? See, it's a constitutional right. They're supposed to tell you that. But in a white supremacist mindset, you don't have no rights. We can just throw the cuffs on you and drag you because we can. And that's where they're falsely mistaken, which they soon will see. Just like Derek Chauvin in George Floyd case, he will see times has changed. This is not Jim Crow, and it'll never be Jim Crow again. But a hard head make a what? You already know. There is no reason for me to be arrested. I am a legislator. Cannon can be heard yelling in one video. In another video, Georgia State Representative Erica Thomas cries out, "She did not touch anybody. She did not say any slanderous words. But you're going to tell me that you arrest a sitting state representative for nothing? She didn't do anything but knock on the governor's door." Unless they're saying black people are not allowed to knock on the governor's door. You know, what the black hand came knock on the governor's door. Sick. Now, wow, words, and I heard the president state that it was sickening and reference to Jim Crow. And words is good, but words to black people, y'all gotta understand. It's words to black people are like back in slavery time when the slave master, the man, would beat on the slave, but then his wife would try to nurture him and say, I don't know why he behaved that way. He shouldn't have beat you that way, to, gain some sympathy for you. But at the end of the day, they both really was on the same page. That's why Malcolm was saying, you always hear me say it, you've been tricked, man. You've been hoodwinked. You've been run amok. We've been had. We've been played. They all work together in a sense because they thought that, all black people wanted was an apology or a semblance of caring. They felt as though they can do whatever dirt they wanted to do to black people, and we would forgive them as long as they said, I shouldn't have done that. You know what? I apologize. I love you. And we felt like, okay, well, just don't do it again. And they back there laughing, and we'll do it again. And hey, you did it again. I don't know what came over me. Sometimes my mind goes blank. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? Okay, but you better not do it again. Then they do it again. I mean, it's played out, man. It's over. Time out, right? It says, after being put in a police car, Kenneth was transported to Fulton County Jail, where she was charged with obstruction of law enforcement and preventing or disrupting General Assembly sessions or other meetings of members, which she was a member. A small group of protesters got outside the facility, including Senator Raphael Warnock, who called Cannon's arrest a desperate attempt to lock out and squeeze the people out of their own democracy. It wasn't until the early hours of Friday morning that Cannon was released, which she promptly announced on Twitter after thanking everyone for their support and decrying her arrest. She went on to denounce the bill. These restrictions serve no purpose other than to keep voters from exercising their constitutional right to vote, she wrote in one tweet. In another, who and what are they protecting when they work this hard to suppress our vote? Now, I'll tell you, one of the things in the bill was that you can't hand people water or food while they're waiting in line. Right. Now, reason being is because they feel as though, especially elderly black population, suffers from diabetes. And diabetics who stand for a long time, their sugar goes up. So it was someone always in line that would give them sugar to level off the blood sugar level, right, and give them water. They want to take that out, hoping it would discourage people, the diabetics. They look at the percentage of the blacks who have diabetics within that vicinity of the population, and they say, okay, well, yeah, no food or drinks, because this should knock out a certain percentage, because they don't want to stand in line if they can't receive any food or whatnot, and risk passing out. Right, this is devilishment. This is how they play the game, right? But what they fail to realize, we smarter than that today. People just take your water and your snacks with you. That's all. And keep rolling. You can't. I guess what I'm saying is the racist mindset is played out, and it won't suffice, and it can't win as the future moves forward. It's a wrap, but you give them an A for effort for keep trying, they trying, but won't happen. Following Donald Trump's defeat, Republicans in dozens of states have been attempting to push through legislation that would severely restrict voting access. Georgia, which saw the victory of two new Democratic senators in 2 crucial runoff elections, is the first battleground state to pass such a bill. The restrictions in the legislation, SB 202, are sweeping. They include limiting the use of ballot drop boxes, adding new identification requirements for mail voting, and making it a crime to hand out food or water to voters waiting in line. Now say you standing in line and your cousin is 2 people in front of you. They look back and see you sweating or whatever. They go in their bag, hand you some water. Now here comes old good redneck gonna run there and try to put the cuffs on you. You broke the law. You tried to hand them some water. It's like, we came against my family member. I could get them water if I want to give them. Not in our line. Wow. Restricting your freedom. Wow. And then what's going to happen is a white person would do the same similar act and not get harassed and won't even, because they blatantly showing it. They not hiding. They blatantly saying, yeah, well, white privilege, yeah, that's what makes America great for white people. We make sure our people have privilege so they can stand above you and make sure you don't have privileges, to make them feel better. And they fail to realize that time is gone too. It's over. Man, as I stated in some of my earlier podcasts, when that freeze hit, when those hurricanes hit, and those tornadoes hit, all of this stuff don't even matter. When the officers' loved ones' roof came off their house and flattened them, and they brain pouring on them, the last thing on that racist mind is what black people doing. So to keep them distracted off of black people, more natural disasters are coming to give black people a chance to enjoy some freedom while the racists fight these natural disasters until they learn that there is a God, and then they stop. But the question is, I don't think they can stop. I think it's just so deeply embedded in them that there's nothing you can do to stop them. There's nothing they can do to stop themselves. It's on autopilot. They gone too far, and they're gonna go so far till they burn themselves out. And you don't even have to do anything but just sit and watch them burn themselves out. And yeah, actually, that's what's happening, right? Okay, now that's about handing water in line, which are often interminable, long in the state's predominantly black neighborhoods. I guess meaning that's part of Georgia's black neighborhoods who wait in long lines to vote. Because of the deliberate reduction in polling places, right? So everybody gathering to what's near their houses. So that means there's less voting places and more people. Just hours after Kemp signed the bill into law, the group's Black Voters Matter Fund, New Georgia Project, and Rise, Inc. challenged the constitutionality of the voter suppression bill in a lawsuit which argues the legislation will impose these unjustifiable burdens disproportionately on the state's minority, young, poor, and disabled citizens. Cannon will be among those continuing to fight against the bill. We will not live in fear, and we will not be controlled. Cannon tweeted. Let's read. Cannon will. So, this is what I'm going to do, y'all. I got to call my partner, right? I got to get, because I need help on this one, so I don't, somebody to keep me in line, so I don't go too far on this thing, right? Because situations like this pisses me off, right? But I want to bring my partner, and this is Brother Marcus Muhd, to the show, because I heard him on a podcast before. And really, I didn't give Brother Marcus time to prep on this show, right? But I had to call him up because I was getting kind of heated, and I need someone to ride with me on this topic because this is 2021, and we dealing with issues such as this. Brother Marcus Muhd, you there, brother?
I'm here, brother. How you doing?
All right, pretty good. Thank you for being on the show, brother.
That's it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm going over Miss Kemp's, who they locked up for knocking on the governor's door. I mean, this is 2021, right? Mm-hmm. And excuse me, I'm saying Kemp, but Miss Cannon. See, Stacey Abrams, she done such a great job of getting people out to vote, right? And now that the people came out and they put 2 Democrats in office, they're going back to old Jim Crow tactics, right? But what we basically trying to do is uncover this mindset to why would they even feel like people will accept going back to a Jim Crow state of mind. You know?
Well, right. Well, I don't know, bro. I mean, I know people think or consider me a pessimist. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I consider myself a realist. And me and the people that we're referring to, we're talking about here, agree. Call me pessimistic or not, you know, agree or disagree with me or not. But what I think or believe in my perspective of the whole social thing that's going on coincides with their actions. So what I'm witnessing is what I think is just a perpetuation of hereditary behavior. Let me put it like that.
Right. Yeah, I can totally agree. It's that mindset. It's the fact that they can't get out from under that mindset, and they actions say that this is 1800s to 1960s. They haven't left that time period. They stuck in a time warp. You can't. I mean, who in a civilized society will pass a bill that don't allow people to hand people water or food while they standing in line?
Right.
In black areas. I mean, it's so blatant, though. They're not even trying to hide it.
Right.
You know?
Well, you know, they are who they are, you know, and they were not going to change for nothing. Nobody, not even for the time, not even for the rest of the world that's trying to move on into another era of existence, which is, you know, what they feel like should be coexistence of all people, and, you know, the fulfillment of the dream that everybody's equal, and little black girls and little black boys. And it's just sad that it's just so many. It's enough of them and it's especially enough of them in power to continue the same type of America that was built for white people. You know, I was gonna say by white people, but they just, you know, they gave the orders and we built it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they want to continue the ideal of white America for whites only, and exclude everybody else from the freedom, justice, and equality that the Constitution lays out for civilization.
Right, and even if you even without the Constitution, just just human evolvement in time dictates that you can't live under the same umbrella of white supremacy or racist ideology. It just won't suffice for the time. It's outdated.
It's outdated, but they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Hey, tell the man that's walking down the street with a pocket protector and some pins in his pocket protector and his button-down shirt and shit. You know, everybody working on cell phones, using the computer on their phones, and you know what I'm saying? And this dude got a pocket full of pins where he gonna write his notes down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, you know, you can tell him it's outdated, but you can't force him to take that. You know, man, use a cell phone. You know,
right? Yeah, that's a good analogy. You're absolutely right. It's sad that we have to turn on a television and see them drag a lawmaker now who came there and knocked on the door to witness a law being signed and got arrested and was trying to explain to the officers, hey, I'm a legislator. They didn't give a damn. You know, didn't even have any respect for it. And as the white lady said, she said, well, had that been me, I guarantee you the situation would have went down a whole lot differently. Right. If she was white.
It's true.
You know? Then with...
Yes,
sir. No, go ahead, brother.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I was saying then with the incident that just took place in Atlanta with the Caucasian who shot up 6 Chinese women, right? Uh-huh. They said he had a bad day and he had some mental illness. But then when the Caucasian Syrian shot up 10 in Colorado, the Muslim, he's a murderer, and they just eating him up and interviewing people and folks crying, and they didn't give the Asian community half of that sympathy for their victims as they did the victims of the Syrian Muslim in Colorado.
Yeah, man, we're dealing with some sick people, man, and evidently people in general just haven't learned their lesson.
Right.
We're not convinced yet. It's taking all of this just for everyone to be convinced of who the hell and what the hell we're dealing with here. Yeah. You know?
We all in this melting pot. Everybody's in here. All kind of races is in out here. Now, mind you, the Asian, blacks, and the browns or whatever are victims of white supremacy. But we can't come together as one, even though we trying. But, you know, we got our differences. And no one calls out this ideology of white supremacist mindset and say, you know what, enough is enough. Because I hear Joe Biden, he called it sickly, but it's rhetoric. It's like, you know, they'll do look, Democrats in power, and there's still racist acts going on, and then they'll condemn the act, but it goes, that's as far as it goes. What about using your executive powers to overturn it?
Right. Well, the scripture describes that kind of behavior as making evil fair seeming. And I've been saying for a while, man, you know, especially back when the incident took place with George Floyd, when he was murdered in the streets on video, you know, for the world to see, and didn't give a damn, that when you turn around and all you want to do is talk about it, and we need to have a discussion, and we need to have dialogue, and we need to, you know, come to the table and all that. Stating the obvious is not justice, and we're being fed that BS and going for it.
Yeah.
The news, just because the news has been forced to speak about this racist behavior, we think that's justice.
Right.
You know, we go from Obama lying, I ain't gonna say Obama, but the Obama era and all the liars that stood up in front of everybody stating that this is post-racial America and just fed that to the nation and try to feed that to the world. And it was just a blatant dog lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, just because we got to the point where they have to speak about it, they have to mention it, they have to act like they recognize it, we think that's justice.
Right. They say that
we
arrived. They say the number one threat in America is domestic terrorism, but yet the alphabet boys or these institutions are not doing enough to break up these cells.
Oh, they're not gonna do nothing because they all in with it, all in together.
Yeah, man.
That's cousin Bob, you know.
Right.
What the hell they gonna do? We gotta face that, man. They're not gonna ever do nothing against each other if it got something to do with giving us justice, man. They're not gonna do it. Look, man, we need to pay attention to what's happening, man, and quit thinking there's a spook god up in the sky that's gonna wave a magic wand or snap his finger and shit just gonna. God dog it, I did it.
That's not right though, cause brother, what you said was right. We gotta appeal to some of these. We gotta appeal to the preachers, the pastors, to change their ideology and the way they looking at this thing to get the people ready, so we can erase that passive kind of weak mentality.
All right, man.
That's the only ones who can do it right now, bro, because they got to say, hey, you know what? We was wrong. You know, because you and I can say it, but they're not going to believe it until the pastor say it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And he has a duty to say it.
Oh, my God, man. We're in a sad situation. We're in a sad state of affairs, bro. Yeah. They're not going to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they got to do it, bro.
They're not going to do it.
And if they don't, what's going to happen is you lining your people up for the slaughter, and you making them so weak and docile that they can't even defend themselves, and they just getting mowed down.
Right. Now, haven't they been doing that the whole while?
Yeah.
Haven't they even been put there to do that?
But when it comes,
this is the reality.
It's the reality. But when it comes to a political figure whose title is a legislator, whose job it is to make laws, and you trying to tell me the lawmaker can't receive justice, and they charged her with 2 felonies?
Watch and see what the pastors do. Watch.
All right, this is unprecedented. This is beyond anything we can imagine. When a lawmaker, a black lawmaker, can't receive justice, that means then that your whole existence is null and void, and we might as well just, what the hell we here for?
Right. Now we're talking. What the hell are we here for? That is the $1 million question, brother. Because we got black female judges floating in the river. We got 12-year-old boys getting gunned down in the park for playing. We got black females laying in a bed, getting shot up for laying in the bed. Sleep. The $1 million question is, what the hell are we here for?
Yeah.
What the hell are we here for?
What are we here for? What are we here for?
It's a good question. Yeah. What the hell are we here for?
Still fighting for justice. You right.
Get the hell away. Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, how about that, yeah. Because you right, he's not going to change.
No, there's not going to be no changing.
But why separation seems so hard?
Because we're afraid. Just fear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just fear.
We say slave don't want to lead the master, huh?
Slave don't want to lead the master, bro. Slave don't want to lead the master.
Even though
this is simple. These are simple. We all really kind of know what the answers are to these things.
Yeah, we know, bro.
It's just a matter of facing them, accepting them, and doing something about it. Doing some action, going into some action about it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? One sun, planet circle around the sun. I mean, how simple can you get it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what it is? You know what more? Nah, this, we got, what might have to be done for some 85 is if we say separation, right? But we gotta let some know that, look, we can separate and we'll make it to where the party is even liver with us than with the slave master.
Good luck. I don't know.
That might be because that's one thing why, because the over here, you can, as soon as they turn the music on, drinks start flowing, weed flowing, folks can dance and do the whole everything, and that's fun. That's a stress reliever, and some don't want to leave the party. So then we would have to say, well, look, when we separate and go for a land of our own, you're gonna have the best DJs, the best drinks, the best party favors. You really gonna be able to get down over here. And then they might be like, well, man, well, the hell with the slave master party. The free party sound way better. The free man's party sound better than the slave master's party. Something got to be appealing to catch the ear, bro.
You're right. And, we wound up in this situation because they appealed to us with gold. We got more gold than what you already have over here. Come on.
Right.
Walk with me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And we got to think about now the mistrust in our community. We got to face that. That was the next one. Number one is fear, and the next one is mistrust amongst one another. Because right now, we have territory. It's called the hood. Right. Look at how we treat the hood. Why would we go somewhere else and do the same damn thing? We are separated. Look at us.
Yeah.
Our skin is black, theirs is white. We already separate.
Right, we already separated.
You know what I mean? It's just accepting the fact that we are separate.
That's right. Look,
accepting our own damn identity, taking responsibility for our own identity again. Who we are, not what they made us.
That's right.
Not what we're supposed to be according to what they want all the time. Not saying what they desire. Not doing what pleases them. What about me? What about me? Us?
Right.
I'm a black person. The roses don't get mad at the daisies, and the daisies don't get mad at the roses.
Come on.
It ain't nothing wrong with being separate.
Right.
Nothing wrong with it, man.
Yeah.
We got to accept that.
Yeah.
And do something about it.
Yeah.
How the hell are we going to be separate physically when we haven't even separated mentally yet? Right. So first we got to start with, who the hell are you?
Right. Yeah. Why do I have to take shit off you?
That's the $1 million question. Why am I here? Why do I have to do this? Right. Why do I have to say that? Why do I have to dress like this? Right. Why do I have to go there? Right. You know what I mean?
That's right. To please you? No.
Why everything I do, say, feel, touch, and act like gotta be according to what pleases you?
Right.
According to how you set it up.
Right.
How you want to live your life. Why can't I be my own self?
Right. Well,
$1 million question.
Yeah, because being your own self, that's complete and total freedom.
That's where it starts.
Where it starts. Yeah, and you have to be, you right. You have to be bold. You have to love you as an individual to be free.
Right.
You can't be free if you don't have no knowledge of self and you don't love yourself. Because someone else gonna create and for you and guide you the way they want you to be guided.
Exactly.
But
I'm glad you said that. Well, a lot of us are getting these stimulus checks, and that is because, first of all, this is not a benevolent government. Just because you're getting $1,500.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
the government, once again, the time, is forcing them to recognize a few simple facts. In regards to what we're talking about here, when it comes to stimulus checks, they've been knowing, but now they have to act like they recognize the fact that your spending power, black people, is the gross national product, even though it's not a product, is a commodity. You are the commodity. Right. You are the gross national product of America.
I always have
simply
been.
Because it always have been. But now that you've been free enough to earn money, now your spending power is just as powerful as your labor. So how do you get the economy back from from what we just experienced with the COVID breakdown? You got to put money in the hands of the people who are going to spend it. Right. It's not that the country don't have money anymore because people are not working as much. It's just that the people who have the money are not going to spend it.
Right.
They're going to hoard it. In the Holy Quran, hoarding is a sin. Now you see why.
That's right. Come on.
Because how the hell are you going to have an economy when you sitting on your money, being a cheap, greedy bastard?
Right.
So that nobody else sees your money, and all at the same time you want people to work for free. So you got free workers that don't have money, and you got fat cats over here with all the money. How the hell are you gonna have an economy?
Right. Yeah.
The money gotta rotate.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's a fact.
If the money don't rotate, you don't have an economy.
That's right.
Even if you're talking about socialism, government give the money to the people in to some degree. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That means they got to keep the money circulating.
Right.
So now you go over here with this corporation, you making all these products and you making all these devices and you got all these services that you want people to buy and use, but you're not paying them no money to make the goddamn products. How you gonna have an economy?
Right. Exactly.
It took COVID to break them, to make them realize you got to include everybody in some kind of way.
Right.
Especially if you're talking about your money.
Right.
And they don't care about nothing more than money.
Right. You have to. You have to. But that's the comparison. That's the comparison. You have to circulate this money and get involved with everybody. Right, has to do it. But then on the other side is that racism. Spite your nose to cut your face. You'll hold that money in your hand just so you don't see black folks benefiting and enjoying it, to where it's killing you at the same time as well.
Right. Now, I'm telling you, these are not nice people. They're not giving you the money because they think that you're going to go and set up a world for yourself and be independent of them. They know what they made. They know that you're going to come and give that money right back to them and circulate that dollar with them even before you circulate it with yourself, which is a damn shame.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
3.such trillion a year.
Right.
And that money never touch your own brother and sister's hand.
Come on.
You ought to be ashamed of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And them people know that you're going to give it right back.
Yeah. Now, and it's sad to say that a lot of people just learn the structure of how things work just from what you said and listening to this show.
Yes, sir.
Just learning it. And hopefully now that you've learned, you can be responsible with the knowledge and do what's right.
Yes, sir.
You know, hopefully. And it, because the need to has been outlined. It's a need to spend money within the black community, like all the other races do it. All the, like
yes.
the Asians, the Greek. It's a purpose, it's a reason. You know, that's freedom.
Word.
That's
Word.
Creating a culture, and that's another thing, brother. We got to create a culture, a black culture. You know, our culture can't be intertwined with the slave master's culture.
Right.
You know, it's a must, because you take pride in knowing that this is for you, and by you.
Right.
You know. Well, we got the entertainment portion down. Now we got to get the economic part down and the medical part down. You know, this is what we do as a people that brings in economic gain, and also it also brings in health wise as well by us doing this. This is our, like the Greek or Italians. We olives is our thing. You know what I mean. We have to be known for something other than entertainment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Even though,
and then when we do come up with this, what you're saying, let's not get hijacked for it.
Ah, come on, bro. Yeah.
Because everything we come up with, we just get robbed, because back to identity, we feel like we can't have anything without other people.
Or we get it and can't wait to show the master, look what I did. Look, check this out. Look at it. He take it right from you.
Take it right from it. First he tell you that ain't shit, because you ain't shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
And then as soon as you get convinced of that, he take it from you and become a powerful person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you just give it up. You do it every time. You know what I'm saying?
He's still using the same old tricks.
Yeah.
And we followed him for it.
Yeah. Because we still his nigga.
Yeah.
When we start identifying with ourselves, then we can't go for the okie doke no more. As long as we still his nigga, we still gonna go for it. Because we had hip hop. Now look who are the DJs and the producers and the agents and the managers and the record label owners. Who own that shit now?
Yeah.
Because first he told us that shit wasn't it, man. Please, shut up, stop. But he saw the movement the whole time. As soon as we became convinced of it, just like mixtapes, you put them mixtape, that hustle. You know what I'm saying? If you're a mixtape rapper, you ain't shit because you ain't signed to a label. Next thing you know, they go mixtape game. Because the mixtape game, you was an independent.
Right. Free.
You was making buku dollars out of your trunk, brother.
Right.
But you gave all that up because you wanted to be with your owner,
Yeah. You want to be signed to the man.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. Put your own papers again.
So let's not go for the okay though. Whenever we do come up with things, rock and roll, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we came up with cell phone technology.
That's right.
Nobody know. We actually came up with social media, Black Planet.
Yeah.
And MySpace and Facebook just stepped all over us, So, hey, we keep going for it because we don't know who the hell we are, man. As simple as that.
Right. We don't put.
We gotta identify. Yeah, we gotta identify with our owners. So our owners tell us what it is and what it do, what time it is, and when it's supposed to happen, and how it's supposed to go. What's good and what ain't good. What's hot and what's not.
Yeah, we don't see the value in being who we are. It's value in you and being you. I mean, the originators, it's value. Extract that value and be proud of the value.
That's right.
Wow, Brother Mark, man, I sure appreciate that, bro. Everything right on time.
Yes, sir.
Thank
you for having me on, brother.
Yes, sir. Well, this, as always, this is food for thought. And we always capture that one person that wakes up and they'll send me a message saying, yeah, man, I appreciate that, or a thumbs up, because it's a building block. It helps better their lives.
Yes, sir.
All right. Verbal Pick Radio. We out.